Hey everybody, welcome back to the Trinity Collective. We're back in the shop today. It's Tuesday, a little bit slow, but we're here. I don't do a lot on Tuesdays, um, but I wanted to talk about a few things that I deal with on a daily basis, and maybe this will help you and shed some light and clarify some things and give you a better understanding and grasp and some ground to stand on. So you're thinking about a tattoo, which is good. It makes you a little bit cooler than somebody else that's not. But you're feeling overwhelmed. You don't know what you want, or you don't know you want it to look like. Um, so what I've tried to do is today I'm going to try to explain in quick and short five kind of areas or styles that I personally group tattoos into in the way they look. Um, it can be overwhelming, and as tattoo artists, I don't think that we expect you to know what these styles are or what can be done, but we do expect you to have maybe a vision in your mind as to what you want, because if you don't, it could lead to regret in what you've gotten. And as artists, I think in general, we don't want that. Whether it's a tattoo or a painting or, something, anything like that, the car you buy. So I've tried to break it down a little bit. Um, I think part of this also is knowing what your artist, who you are having do your tattoo, what they excel in, what they're good at. Are they a street shop guy that just does everything? Which I think we all kind of try to have at least our hands in something, or multiple styles. Or are they this is what I do and that's that? Um, I think that's a pitfall for some artists. I think that it's greatly beneficial for others. Excuse me. It tasted like coffee. It was really strong. Um, so first up is traditional. And any of you that come into this shop and get tattooed or have been tattooed by me know that that's what I do. I try to stick to my guns on it as much as I can. It's what I understand as an artist. Um, it's what I think that I excel at. You're going to get the best work out of me if it's traditional. I can take a lot of things and turn them into traditional. Some people call it old school. That makes me want to gag. All right, it makes me think of like old school. What do you mean old school? You want to fucking PBR and just sniff some coke off a stripper's tits at fucking Sturgis? Old school. I mean, come on. It's traditional. It's traditional Americana artwork. It's traditional tattooing. Um, Most of you will, and including myself, um, think about Sailor Jerry, Stony St. Clair, um, that kind of stuff. Um, Built on bold lines, thick black shading, and a limited color palette. Um, and I could go on about the history of how this all came about. Um, do the research and read about it. It's cool. It's a cool history. And maybe I'll do a video on that. Um, Simplification, boldness, richness. I want to be able to tell what the tattoo is from 15, 20 foot away without having to wonder. That's, for me, longevity. That's what tattooing is longevity. But in that traditional tattooing and the traditional art style, Americana style, think of it like buying an electric Tesla versus buying a muscle car, you know, um, a 69 Chevelle or an old 68 Mustang. That's Americana, that's traditional. Um, that boldness will hold if it's done correctly, executed properly, for a long period of time. It never goes out of style. It's like blue jeans. And that's what traditional work is to me. And I force that issue a lot. It's what I do best. And if you come to me, that's what I'm going to want to do. on you. Secondary to that would be neo-traditional. Neo as in new, traditional. So it's going to use neo-traditional is very popular, and it's something I do understand and I have done, and I don't think that I'm horrible at it, just not as proficient at it. You're going to get a lot of floral, animal, and other aspects or subject matters, I should say, in that. Um, Different varying line weights. So from a 3, even singles and 5s, and that's the number of needles in the grouping for a liner, to 14s and calligraphied from there to be thicker. You're going to have the same kind of open spaces generally as traditional tattooing, but it's going to be a little more refined. The color palette's going to be far more broad, um, bright colors, and the use of a lot of earth tones, grays and olive, matte kind of green, mossy colors, along with a lot of those bright teals and yellows and oranges and things like that to create an overall piece. Some of it, a lot of three-dimensional, a lot of layering in those tattoos in the neo-traditional, and I feel that sometimes you get a very Art Nouveau kind of stylistic vibe out of it. Very Alphonse Mucha. If you don't know who that is, rewind that, listen to me say it fancy like I just did, and then go look up his artwork, and you'll recognize it. I know you've seen it. That could be even more in its own niche kind of pocket, but still, for me, says neo-traditional or that styling. Next would be microrealism or realism in general, which is what I don't do at all. I understand it in some way, but I don't understand the technical value of tattooing. It's something I've never been interested in. For me, and maybe this is very caveman of me, but if you want something realistic like that, go take a fucking picture. That's what they have digital cameras all over for. I mean, you've got them on your phone. I'm using one right now. It doesn't hold up for me in tattooing. There's a place for it. There's guys that are so, and girls that are so talented. I mean, in that particular genre of tattooing, you have to be extremely skilled. You have to really be on point with how your machines run, knowing what skin you're working on, and just even drawing the pattern or creating the pattern from a picture. That whole stencil situation is a different game. It's stick figures to architecture. It's a whole different, it doesn't work for me. It's not how my brain works. And I'm not practiced in it, and I'm not good at it, and I never do it. I turn people away. It's not what I do. I can do a neo-traditional pet portrait. I can do that. But to do actual realism based on smooth shading or color portraiture, no. I'll do a lot of times you'll find that you'll see some stipple dot type work that I can get around and manage some, more of an illustrative, like a Gray's Anatomy or some type of block carving, type inked block carving, biblical artwork. I really like that, very illustrative, but not realism. So know the difference. Realism for me doesn't hold up very well. The light shading and things, it doesn't have the longevity that traditional tattooing has. Another style I would say is kind of side profile, like in the other room, would be lettering, whether that be calligraphy or your cursives, scripts, or like a graffiti style, which is its own art, or a West Coast style big writing. That takes a lot of skill. You have to really be on top of it mathematically to get spacing right, to get the letter size correct for this part of the body that you're using. If it's got an arc, how that math works, and what looks good. There's a lot of fine line, light shading, good big curves. That's if you're good at that, you're good at that. It's not something I enjoy doing. I wouldn't say I can't do it because I have done it and I can do it, but I hate writing. I fucking hate it. Not my thing. But the people out there that do it are really great tattooists. And you'll know when you see good West Coast style writing or good cursive. I mean, it takes something just a little more from a tattooist to do that on a regular basis and to do it really good. And it's not just about the execution of the tattoo, it's about the execution of setup. The other style I think I would say that I get a lot of would be, and ask for, would be Japanese and traditional Japanese. And within traditional Japanese, you're going to get, I should say, within traditional Americana or American traditional tattooing, you're going to get a lot of traditional Japanese elements: execution, style, shape, form, color, build. But a lot of traditional Japanese stuff, you're going to see elements: wind, water, air. Everything is, there's a definite right and wrong there with how the tattoo is set up, the motif involved, the idea. There's propers and there's wrongs that you don't do. So you have to kind of have, you not kind of, you have to have study in that. You have to know what's right and what's wrong. And you can take liberties, we all do, with that artistically. However, if you want the real thing, then you need to talk to somebody who's really versed, and that's what they do, and they've studied that. So that's the styles. Find out what matches you best. I'm always going to be team American traditional. That's what I do. And if you come to me, that's what I'm going to push for and want to do. Know your artist. Do your searches. Do your research. Give them some help. They can't ultimately make the decision for you unless you put all of that in them. Say, I don't care what you do it. And if you get a unicorn shitting pink pickles, well, that's on you. But know whether or not it's going to be neo-traditional or American traditional, or if it's going to be a stipple dot fine line thing. That kind of thing is going to rely on you. Research the styles. Hopefully this will, go on Pinterest. It's a great tool. Go on and use those as prompts. American traditional women's tattoo or floral tattoo, men's tattoo, traditional Japanese flower tattoo, neo-traditional wolf tattoo or turtle tattoo, or whatever it is you want to, you want to get something written, some writing on you, then go and search out writing styles, tattoo writing styles, and use those prompts, and it will help you in the long run, hopefully. If you have any questions or comments, downstairs, hit the button. Subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the better off the channel is. Of course, you guys know that. And pass it on to your friends. There'll be more videos just as soon as I can get them made and edited and put up. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you here at the studio or at home in the kitchen.